Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. Just another random video. Now, since I did my top 10 favorite horror remakes, why not do my top 10 least favorite horror remakes? Now, the top 10 favorite one was a lot of fun to do. I had a really fun time doing that list. It was a really entertaining list for me to do and all that, so I figured, you know what, since I did the favorites, now let's do the least favorite. You know, some of these remakes, I mean, sure, some of these worst remakes are probably going to be no-brainers. And once again, I know these lists are always subjective and all that stuff. I mean, if there's anybody who's watching this or a fan of these remakes, more power to you. You can like them all you want. There's nothing, I can't change your mind. You have your own mind, and I have my own, so to each their own. So, I hope you guys still enjoy my top 10 least favorite horror remakes list, and let's get on to it. I don't own any of these on DVD, thankfully, although I do own one, but I'll explain why. But some dishonorable mentions before I get to the top 10. For my top 10 least favorite horror remakes, some dishonorable mentions: the Amityville Horror, which I was not a fan of; Cabin Fever, which was probably one of the more pointless remakes I think I've ever seen; The Eye with Jessica Alba. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original Japanese version. I think it's Japanese. I'm pretty sure it is, but that's like one of the scariest movies that I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that's such a great movie, but the remake was blah. One Missed Call I didn't care for either. And my last dishonorable mention is Poltergeist. Once again, another remake. I don't know why it was made, because just why not go watch the original? The original one was far more creepier, had a better cast. You know, Heather O'Rourke, Craig T. Nelson. I mean, so such a great movie, directed by Tobe Hooper and all that stuff. I mean, I love the original Poltergeist, but the new one. But anyways, let's get on to the top 10 least favorite horror remakes for me. Coming in at number 10. April Fool's Day. One of those remakes that I didn't really think would ever happen, because I don't think many people even know about the original April Fool's Day, which I really enjoyed the original April Fool's Day. I mean, I really enjoyed the cast. You know, Amy Steele, Thomas F. Wilson, a.k.a. Biff from Back to the Future's in there. I mean, I really liked the cast in the original April Fool's Day. I love the twist at the very end. I thought it was a fantastic twist. It's one of the more underrated slasher films from the 80s, and it's one of the more really underrated horror film in general. But the remake has added nothing new to the table. I mean, I didn't really care for the cast. You know, Scott Scout Taylor Compton, who you've seen quite a bit of other stuff. You know, just this remake was just okay, blah. But that's why it's number 10, because it's kind of it's not great, but I've seen worse, but it was coming in at number 9 would be Children of the Corn. Now, Children of the Corn, this was a TV remake that was made, I believe, back in 2009. Now, I know that this film is more true to the Stephen King novel. I know this is more based on the book by Stephen King. Problem is, though, it didn't work. I mean, the original Children of the Corn was so good. I like Peter Horton, and I like Linda Hamilton. I like John Franklin as Isaac, Courtney Gaines as Malachi. I mean, you have memorable characters in the original Children of the Corn. You know, and the kid actors in that were far more creepier, and you know, Isaac was more evil, and I like Malachi in the film, played by Courtney Gaines as Malachi. I really like the cast. This TV remake, though, just seemed really pointless, and I don't really know. I mean, I know it's more true to the Stephen King book, but I didn't care for the kids in the film. I didn't care for the two leads. You know, and there were some aspects in the original film that aren't really in the remake, and I just much prefer the original Children of the Corn. That's all I'm really saying here. But Coming in at number 8, Day of the Dead. Yeah, Day of the Dead where you have vegetarian zombies, people. You heard me right. Vegetarian zombies. And I like some of the cast. I like Mina Suvari. I like Ving Rhames. I mean, I like Ving Rhames. I like Ving Rhames as an actor. You know, People Under the Stairs and many, many more. And, you know, Nick Cannon from Nickelodeon. I mean, granted, I grew up with Nickelodeon also, so it was kind of cool seeing Nick Cannon in there. But so it's just one of those remakes where really bad CGI effects, like I said, vegetarian zombies. You know, really shaky camera work, and this is coming from the same director that did Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3. But for some reason, he doesn't want to talk about those films, but he can do a commentary on this movie. I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I kind of wish it's like we can get a sequel to the remake of Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder. Maybe Zack Snyder and his team could come back and do a sequel, like for Day of the Dead, which I really would have much preferred to have seen that, to be honest. I think Dawn of the Dead remake should have had a Day of the Dead direct sequel with Zack Snyder and his team coming back. I much prefer to see that. But we didn't get that, so oh well. Coming in at number 7, The Omen. Now the original Omen I never really watched too many times. I do like the original Omen, but it was never one of those horror films I watched a whole lot. But I really do like the original Omen, really classic film with Gregory Peck, directed by Richard Donner. The remake is just one of those things where it was just a carbon copy of the original, shot for shot, dialogue for dialogue. It's just one of those. That's what they call a Xerox. It's the same thing, but with different actors. But instead of like Gregory Peck, you have Liev Schreiber, you have Julia Stiles. Like, it's just the same movie, shot for shot, but with different actors. That's all it is, and there was nothing to the movie. And I'm not a fan of the director either, John Moore. The only film that I liked of his was Behind Enemy Lines. That's all I liked from him. I don't care if I hated Max Payne. I didn't like The Omen either. I can go on and on. I just did not like it. Now coming into number 6, I do own on DVD, but I'd just rather show the picture. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Now the reason why I have it on DVD is because I wanted to check out the features, and it's the theatrical cut. I'm not a fan of the unrated cut because, at least in the theatrical cut that I own on DVD, it still has a couple cool scenes in it, like when Michael Myers escapes from the mental institution and he gets the prison and he takes out the prison guards, you know, Bill Moseley and Sid Haig. I mean, I really like that scene. So, and some of the cast members I like, you know, I like Brad Dourif and all that stuff, but I didn't like the way they made Michael Myers' family white trash. I mean, it just seemed really out of left field. It's like one of the worst things they did to Michael Myers ever since Michael Myers cried in Halloween 5, which I hated as well. So I'm hoping with the new Halloween they're going to deliver big time. And from the trailer I saw of the new Halloween, it looks really, really promising. So I'm praying that they'll get this right. So, but how the Halloween remake, no. And it's full of great ensemble cast members. You have Malcolm McDowell, Daniel Harris, Brad Dourif, Ken Foree. I mean, yeah, Bill Moseley, Sid Haig. You have a really great list of ensemble cast members, but it was not a good remake. It just wasn't good. Coming in at number 5, A Nightmare on Elm Street. You know what? I'll just skip over that. I don't really want. Jackie Earle Haley, I mean, he's no Robert Englund. Just. Coming in at number 4, The Stepfather. Just go watch the original Stepfather with Terry O'Quinn. It's far more creepier. Coming in at number 3, The Fog. getting a headache now because these top three are pretty bad. Such an insult to the original John Carpenter film. It really is. Really is a big insult to the original John Carpenter film. I'm a huge fan of the original Fog. What was the point of this remake? And that's why I think it has like a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. Coming in at number 2, Prom Night. I don't like the movie. It's a poop mouth. He stinks like that. You poop mouth. Gonna go poop mouth. I sound like the guy from Anchorman. I'm really starting to lose my mind. Prom Night. I'm not really the biggest fan of the original Prom Night. I mean, I think it's okay, but no one was asking for a remake of this. And it was just a cut down PG-13 version for the teens. That's all it was. And of course, my number 1 least favorite horror remake. I'm sure you pretty much have all seen this coming. Psycho. This is a film where you have Gus Van Sant and Vince Vaughn, two very talented people. Gus Van Sant, the year before this, because this came out in '98, Gus Van Sant just did Good Will Hunting, a fantastic film, and it's without a doubt my favorite film with Robin Williams. I love Good Will Hunting. I love the cast. It has a great story, great acting, and I like Vince Vaughn too. You know, Swingers, and just before this he did Swingers among other stuff. Why in the world would you just make a Xerox of the original film, but you just put it in color and you add just minor details? The Psycho remake is basically shot for shot, line for line, dialogue by dialogue, but with just different actors, and it's in color. Trying to think of a reasoning here. Nope, I'm stumped. I don't know why it was made in the first place anyway. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this list, and I apologize if I almost lost my mind there at the end. I mean, those top 3 remakes were just P-Usa. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching once again, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.